What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Next Gen Geek. I'm your host Darius, and I wanted to make this video because there's something specific I wanted to talk about, and that is, do superhero games need live service? Let me explain. So, the recent release of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League was received with really, mid to negative reviews. And Marvel's Avengers was also done in a very similar way. And the reason why I wanted to discuss this is really, I wanted to say one thing. You might hate me, you might attack me, but it must be said, and that is, I don't think live service is a problem.
No! God, please, no! No!
I know. Just let me explain. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I do think there are ways that a game such as Marvel's Avengers and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could do this right, or at least in a better organic way that really feels as if us as the player are these actual heroes. Marvel's Avengers was a game I was looking forward to, and then after the game came out, I was very mixed. If not, I really didn't like it all too much. I liked some of the costumes. I did like the combat. I think the combat was pretty good for what they were trying to go for. But there are other elements of that game, and even Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, that they share, such as lack of mission type, mission structure, enemy variety, and lack of content overall, especially as the years went by for these games. Yes, they did include other content and other raids, especially in Marvel's Avengers, but it just never felt the same, where it didn't really feel like a true Avenger experience. But there's one game I think can kind of show us how it could be done, and it could be done in a better way, and that is Marvel Spider-Man in general. But not just Marvel Spider-Man 1, not that one, but Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales and Marvel Spider-Man 2. The reason why I'm mentioning these games is because, specifically with Miles Morales, they introduced another element to the combat, the Venom powers. Obviously, Miles Morales has bioelectric powers, and so they implemented his abilities into combat and traversal that I think felt very natural for that character and for that game. I like that you have 4 different abilities mapped to each of the buttons: PlayStation, X, triangle, square, circle, and you activate these abilities holding down R2 to activate the Venom bar. I like that. I think that introduced a whole new element to the combat that really felt even more free-flowing, like the Arkham series. I like how in the Arkham series you kind of see that when you have the quick gadget toss around with either the Batarang, Frost Bombs, whatever that you have attached to Batman as a character. And Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and even Marvel Spider-Man 2 did that as well. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I think a game like Marvel's Avengers and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could implement or utilize this type of combat system, or could have. I would like to say more could have than necessarily they could, because those games are already out and the base and foundation of those games are already created. But I find what Miles Morales and what Marvel Spider-Man 2 really interesting. And we talk about that co-op experience where Marvel Spider-Man 2, I think, is introducing an element that they could do that if they wanted to. You do have in Marvel Spider-Man 2 that you can swap between Peter Parker and Miles Morales, and they both have different abilities when you hold down their power, let's say, ability button. Miles has his bioelectricity, and Peter, you can do either his Venom, depending on if you have the Venom suit, or the spider arms. And I really did like that. And when I think of Marvel's Avengers, I think they could have done something like this. Obviously, these games came out later, but I think Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2 introduced something for at least going forward for other superhero games to implement. In Marvel Spider-Man 2, you can control either Peter Parker or Miles Morales. You can swap between the two. Basically, it's his own party system in the game, in New York, in Queens, and I really dig that. When I think of Marvel's Avengers, because I really want to use Marvel's Avengers as the basis, the combat system was pretty good in that one. Very reminiscent of God of War and other action RPGs. If we take a bit of that combat system of what Miles Morales did, and each character had their own, let's say, ability bar, such as Hulk, he can have his Gamma bar, he can activate 4 different abilities right on the tree, right there, without having to do different heroics or support of heroic support, assault heroic, or anything like that. I think that would be a lot more interesting and a lot more in-depth, because then you can probably swap between different abilities or add more that you can just start swapping and making a loadout, so to speak. And I think what Miles Morales in Spider-Man 2 did is really cool and really interesting. Instead of a live service with gear grind, you just introduce more skins, you just introduce just more content. I think that's the issue with live service sometimes, is that there's not enough content to keep us in that world for far too long. What the MCU did is throughout from 2008 to 2024, we have a bunch of shows that we could watch. We can either watch them, don't watch them, whatever it may be. Obviously what you think about MCU now might have been different from before, but the MCU kept us interested, kept us engaged with a variety of different content and shows that we can watch. And I think Marvel's Avengers could do something similar. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, same premise. I think I'm onto something where we talk about just that ability tree and then treat things more as a co-op experience and just introduce expansion packs later down the road. Give it a meaty pack, new characters, new worlds to explore, enemy variety, etc. Small character episodes like Avengers did, and introduce characters like Blade and other ones. Same thing with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, or Gotham Knights. I think there's potential. And I wanted to talk about this just to open up that conversation and that possibility. What do you guys think of something like this being implemented in future superhero games? Do you want co-op? Do you want live service? What are your thoughts in general? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.